No other film in the story of cinema boldly reimagines the great conquest suffered by the indigenous peoples of the Americas, quite like James Cameron's Avatar. Cameron's futuristic space odyssey is a bleak but predictable future for humanity as it struggles with overpopulation, climate change, and corruption.
You're not gonna make a deal. For a light beer and blue jeans. There's nothing that we have that they want.
The sci-fi epic clearly pulls from European history during the 1500s. After centuries of plagues, war, and corruption, exploration was necessary for survival.
You are not in Kansas anymore. You are on Pandora.
In Avatar, humanity has to venture out into the universe for new resources, as the Earth is unable to sustain itself. Humans find the resources they are looking for on a paradise moon called Pandora.
Look, Sully, I want you to learn these savages from the inside. I want you to gain their trust. I need to know how to force their cooperation or hammer them hard if they won't.
A Marine, maimed both psychologically and physically from years of war. Jake Sully feels lost in a civilian's world. He searches for purpose, meaning, and justice. Taking over for his dead twin brother's Avatar team, Jake feels he is given a second chance. However, he's completely unaware of the corporate ploy to assimilate with the native species of Pandora in order to steal their land.
Jake Sully. Then we will see if your insanity can be cured.
These seemingly harmless attempts at assimilation are strikingly similar to Christian missions, which ultimately led to the enslavement and eradication of many Native Americans.
Our head clan? And it worked?
Hey, I'm practically family. You're gonna study me. I have to learn to be one of them.
The human invaders in Avatar are driven solely by the cancer of conquest and greed, as they seek the most powerful energy source in the universe.
The richest unobtainium deposit within 200 clicks in any direction. I mean, look at all that cheddar.
Well, who gets them to move?
Yes.
What if they won't go?
Oh, I'm betting that they will.
Okay. Look. Killing the indigenous looks bad. But there's one thing that shareholders hate more than bad press, and that's a bad quarterly statement.
Like the indigenous peoples of the Americas, the Na'vi incorporate their environment as a part of their culture, driven by harmony, equality, and community, rather than conquest or greed.
Your fault. You're like a baby, making noise, don't know what to do.
Both cultures seek to learn from one another, but for opposite reasons. When Jake's consciousness is implanted into an avatar, and he participates in the indigenous people's way of life, he finds a new purpose.
We have tried to teach other sky people. It is hard to fill a cup which is already full.
There were many Europeans who chose to learn the ways of Native Americans in the New World. Many even came to prefer and found enlightenment from a race other than their own.
Trying to understand this deep connection that people have to the forest. She talks about a network of energy that flows through all living things. She says all energy is only borrowed, and one day you have to give it back.
Unfortunately, anyone who showed empathy or even questioned European rule was met with violence, shunned, or even put to death. Jake finds himself equally conflicted by the cancers of technological dependence, corruption, and profiteering.
Everything is backwards now. Like out there is the true world, and in here is the dream.
When the humans invade and destroy the home of the Na'vi, Jake weaponizes his warrior spirit. Earning his worth as the mighty Tumaktu, he mounts an offensive against his own birth kind.
They can take whatever they want, and no one can stop them. But we will send them a message.
Jake and his love interest, Neytiri, one of the Na'vi, stage a counterattack that decimates the seemingly sophisticated human race.
The aliens went back to their dying world. Only a few were chosen to stay.
Much has been made of Avatar's ending, in which a technologically inferior race defeats the most powerful empire in the universe. But it is important to note, Native Americans won many battles in their struggle for self-preservation, such as the epic Battle of Little Bighorn.
Listen to me. You've got 1 hour. Unless you want your girlfriend in there when the axe comes down, you get them to evacuate. 1 hour.
A maverick in every sense of the word. One of James Cameron's most enduring cinema DNA characteristics is his use of strong female lead characters, not body-perfect sex objects, but three-dimensional heroines.
I'm not the only one with a gun, bitch.
Keep her in your sights, Sealy. I'm on all paws.
James Cameron is a cinema pioneer. He created the first computer-generated image character in The Abyss, 1989. 20 years later, he created an entire feature film of CGI characters in a completely immersive universe.
Look, at first, it was just orders. And then everything changed. Okay, I fell in love. I fell in love with the forest, with the Kaya people, with you.
To create the immersive cinematic experience, Cameron also revolutionized 3D cameras, configuring them to realistically mimic how the human eye captures and processes an image. Custom instruments were invented to create a mesmerizing soundtrack. And every costume was painstakingly created by hand, so animation teams had exact references.
The troopers pursued them to the school. They killed Sawanan in the doorway, right in front of Neytiri, and then shot the others. I got most of the kids out.
James Cameron's daring, imaginative, and dreamlike space epic is clearly rooted in the greatest genocide in human history. The Oscar-winning director became box office king for a second time.
I see you.
I see you.
White supremacists have labeled the film a revisionist Western, preferring the cowboy mythology of government-approved genocide. But Avatar's financial return is undeniable, especially in a global market. To be the highest-grossing film of all time, you can't operate solely on Anglo-European mythologies. 3 more films are to come in the franchise, which perhaps will continue to explore one of the most rare topics in the story of cinema, the conquest of the Americas.